I think we'll be having an interesting session on data management and security angle for how we have to protect data by Dinu Vincent. So Mr. Dinu is handling information security in TVS Credit. So he's a cybersecurity professional with over 13 years of experience in diverse sectors, including FSI, by developing and implementing comprehensive cybersecurity frameworks for various organizations. He is an expert in leading teams to perform risk assessments, security operation centers, threat modeling, vulnerability assessment, and incident response, coupled with strong understanding of regulatory compliance and governance. His skills are aligned to cybersecurity strategies with business objectives to enhance resilience and protect critical assets. He has practical knowledge in handling various security solutions, including SIEM tools, EDR, XDR, web application firewall, proxy, NIPS, other firewalls, etc. He is adept at fostering collaboration between technical teams and executive leadership to drive a culture of security awareness and proactive risk management. He is committed to continuous improvement and staying ahead of emerging threats in evolving cybersecurity landscape. He has, before his experience with TVS Credit, he has worked with CSB Bank, South Indian Bank, and a brief stint with Deloitte. So he's a very, very hands-on person where the audience can actually get the actual control which is possible to be implemented in a particular tool, because many times in audit what happens is we'll be forced with a situation where this is not possible, this is not available, this type of report is not possible. So we'll be always blocked whenever we want to go in depth for a control. So having a person with actual implementation knowledge of a tool, it will add value where we can interact with him in understanding how the respective tools are configured and how it works and how it is protecting our assets and data, etc. So we are looking forward for a very useful session, Mr. Dinu. Handing over the session to him.
I will try not to make you sleep. Okay. So it's the challenging opportunity to face a crowd immediately after such a heavy lunch. And how many of you have done any IT audit or any cyber security audit? Can you raise your hand? Okay, so I should take care of only 6-7 guys only asking me questions. Please. So for the next roughly 1 hour, we will have a proper discussion. Don't expect this to be a monologue. You may not be getting the value if you are just hearing to me. Feel free to interrupt me and ask question. You can raise your hand, and I will, in the interest of time, I will try to accommodate as much as questions I can accommodate. Else, after this session also, I will be here to support you guys. Okay, do you guys with me or not? Okay. So I request your undivided share for the entire thing. So why we are having such topics for privacy security? Why? What is the relevance of that? Or can you tell me few cybersecurity major threats or breaches which has happened in the near past? Yes, sir. I'm talking about the breaches, like the impact, the real impact. So usually every cybersecurity or any technology presentation will start with a slide, will showing you that so and so place that has happened. This we will have an activity. Please open your mobile phone. Okay. Take a browser, search for information is beautiful space data breaches. Can you type in your mobile phones? Definitely not. You can search for website information is beautiful space data breaches. Yes, even space, no issues. Anyone got the website? Yeah. Okay. Are you able to see that website? Is it loading? Lot of blue and yellow dots, is it coming? You can click any of those. It will take some time to load. You have your answer. Yes. Yes. So, hope at least some portion of people were able to see that website. So that you can keep for a reference. Like at least once in a while you can search at least whether your company's names are coming or there. You can have a look at it. So this is just I just want to give you a feel like what is the impact. That's what I thought of giving you. So here. Here we will be talking simply on technology things. So as it is easy to understand, we will keep the things, people side of things, process side of things, technology side of things. First we will focus on technology. Then if time permits, we can go for process and people. So thank you. Perfect, thank you. So I will be trying to touch upon these 16 domains, and in the slides you may not be seeing any definitions, nothing. There will be few key takeaways as an internal auditor, what you should understand or what you should check. There will be few questions for you, and it will be pointers for you which will ignite your thought, so that once you go back to your organizations or when you are encountering an IT audit or security audit with respect to privacy and security, that will help you. Okay, we'll start with endpoint device, our normal laptop, desktop. So do you think is there a necessity to audit any laptop or desktop? Yes. Why? Local drives, okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. Very good. Then. Yes. Yes. So, yes, there are a lot of things. So, I'll try to accommodate one points which you guys referred. So, USB, the biggest challenge is the data transfer. If they are able to put in a device or a connected device, USB device, with that they will be able to take the data out of the enterprise asset. How they can restrict it? That is using an endpoint security control. So basically an antivirus, even XDR, or the advanced level of any agent based thing will be able to do that. So that is the second last point. I will not go with the exact order. Then how you will be ensuring that it is as it is. That is more important. So as an auditor, what we are trying to understand is the effectiveness or efficiency of our system. So go for any computer on a random manner, try to put in a pen drive, make sure that that pen drive is not infected. Else under IT acceptable usage policy, we will be in a bad position. Don't do that. So give a try and try to install as much as software in your system if time permits. Then only you will be able to understand what controls you are having. And the most important thing which I consider is user awareness. Why? Because see, take an example like you are having a 2000 endpoints in your environment, and one of the system is finding a new icon in their machine. So if our user is aware that this is the not the one which usually I have seen it, then they can trigger an alarm, or that feeling of suspicion will help us understanding any attack or anything. So any idea how an ransomware attack will be detected? No ma'am. So ransomware is something like your entire system will be encrypted and you will not be able to see your files. If you want to see your file, you have to pay the ransom. So how the technology behind it is, when a ransom file encrypts your file, it will encrypt multiple files at a single time. At a single instance, multiple files will be getting encrypted. And to detect that, the solutions, security solutions, they will be deploying, it's called as breadcrumbs, or small portions of some some files in different locations of within your computer. So that if multiple places are getting deleted or getting encrypted, it will detect as ransomware. That's how the technology will detect it. But there are chances that there will be false positive as well. Like we are deleting lot of files in a single shot. So that's are the false positives which may come across. So as an endpoint, how to ensure security is, have you heard of CIS benchmark? Okay. CIS is a international standard. So again, that's the next website which I will be referring to you. You can refer CIS benchmarks. You will be able to download lot of information over there. It will be having the baselines or the benchmarks for each and every OS, endpoint software, whatever it is. So there if you go, if your environment you are having Windows 11 machine, you find out what all things are there, which is required like for the secure operations, that you will be able to see, you can check, like compare between that, and you will be able to identify that. And secure, yeah. Then right now the entire workforce is not sitting in a single office premise. They will be spread across. So that comes the VPN relevance. So there will be some solutions called as NAC, Network Access Control. What it does is, if your Wi-Fi is not stable or it's kind of not complete thing, you will not be able to getting connected with your environment. If you are not having an antivirus in your machine which is not updated, it will not permit you. If you are sitting in a geographical location, if there you are having a geo-fence this thing, that will block you. So those things are there. Then things which you can experiment as an auditor is, like in your offices and all, if you are having a LAN connection, just identify one IP address for one so and so person. Just try to connect your laptop by configuring IP in of that person, whether you are able to connect it. It's an issue. And if the same person is he able to connect his personal laptop, if he is able to configure the private IP over there. So just these are some tips and tricks which you can try on endpoint. Any doubts so far? Okay, please don't sleep. Then next is privileged access management. So this come basically when some privileges more than a normal privilege. For example, a normal user, we will be accessing resources from a user perspective. But say an administrator, system engineer, or a person who is having a higher level of access, they will be accessing the servers through a system called as PAM, Privileged Access Management. In the market, there are solutions like CyberArk, Archon, all those things. So this will keep a log of each and every activity which is happening over there. It will capture the screen so that later stage, if you need any forensic analysis or whatever analysis you require, you will get to know what is happening. So that is what I'm trying to discuss over here. Here there will be different scenarios. Like there is an administrator who only knows the password. If suppose, take the most worst case scenario, that administrator is not available, what you will do? You want to access that application or server, what you will do? So you will have a kind of the break the glass policy. You will have your passwords in a safe custody. That is a typical thing. In a privileged access management solution, there is a break the glass concept. How it is, two or multiple users have to enter their password at the same time in a combination or different ways. Then only they will be able to get that password. Okay. Should I repeat? Got it, no? So that's how a PAM works. Then main thing is each and every activity which a special privileged person is doing, that should be logged, and make sure that there is someone to look into that log, so that some valuable information we are getting. Shall I move to the next topic? Okay, information access restriction. Here I would like to focus more on database activities. So even from a privacy perspective, a database activity monitoring tool, DAM tool, is a bit more intrusive because it will capture what is happening in database level, whether it is a PAN card, whether it's an Aadhaar number, any PA information is there. So as an auditor, what all things we need to see when you audit a database? Any idea? Any vague idea? Anyone? Okay, access first. Okay, audit trails, modifications, parameters. Any chance of encryption? Yes. There are various classification for database commands. Anyone having any idea? There are commands in the structure called as DDL, DML, DCL. So the point which I want to convey is, think about the classification of database queries. So in that there are commands like a DML command, which will data, what's a monitoring language or data creation. That command will give you a create command so that the entire database will be created. If it is a drop command, it will delete the entire database itself. So those commands at least need to be monitored in a DAM. And DAM should have a specific use cases to understand what is the privilege which any user is exercising. For example, an application, if it is fetching a data, whether it require read-write permission, which permission it requires? Only read. It doesn't need any. So apply the principle of least privilege or need to know basis. That is the place where you need to see in a database activity monitoring solution, and with the level of controls. If it is required, that only need to be given to that particular resource. Any doubts? Okay. So access to source code. So the definition or the what a source code is, I have put in the first one. So how many of you have heard of GitHub, GitLab? Okay. So it's a repository. There are a lot of repositories like that. There are open source repository. There will be company enterprise specific repositories. Make sure that your company specific repository are not publicly available. How you can check is, you can check in your personal device. You can try with different combinations like in your mobile phone, tab. Try different ways. If it is available, it's a critical risk, because the most fundamental, like the most core of the software is being exposed in the internet. So there also who is having access, the access control mechanism, who can see it, how it's connected with the other production environment, all those things need to be checked. Good, are we in a good shape? Okay. So then secure authentication. So authentication, like in every audit, first things we will be asking is, what is the password complexity? Show me the password complexity. And whether you are checking whether this password complexity is applied or not. Because if you see an active directory system, there or in IDAM solution, where the user groups are different. When you go for an auditee, if it is he is smart enough, he will show you a place where everything is implemented. Then it's our job to go and ask them which are the entire set, which is the parent policy. So go for the parent policy. Don't go for the minute grassroots level policies when it comes to password. And try, when you are given an application test, try entering some junk value. Just observe what it gives back. For example, if there is a field to enter username and password, enter a correct username, enter a wrong password. See what it gives back to you. What do you think? What it should ideally give back if you are entering a wrong credential? Invalid or okay, either both or invalid credentials. It should not tell us that it is invalid username or invalid password. That is a like you are exposing. And even some applications, like you will be familiar with a lot of web applications. If you are a web application, you are having URL, remove the last portion. Okay, like in the after the slash there will be something, you just remove it, then you click enter. It will give you a default page. What should be the ideal case? There are technical reason for such thing, because it can be used to check connectivity. So there some information like it works, hi, hello, something they can give in the background, but they never should give that default page or the information with respect to our web server. For example, if it should not display error page of Apache 8.1. So those things, if you don't require any VAPT skills, just chuma leave the things after the slash, put a star, become all. So give a try for all those things, because these things when we audit or when we identify in a first stage itself, that will help us, because a VAPT or exercise will be conducted in a different frequency. So try all those things. And three-factor authentication. Have you seen any solution having a three-factor authentication? Okay, there are also two already there, no? So as I mentioned in my previous slide, the PAM solution. So there is a solution called as Archon, which is being used for privilege access management. How it does is, you have to enter the username and password, then you will get a screen to log in. That screen will show a code. That code you need to enter in the mobile app of your phone, which is already an enrolled device. So if that code meets that which is in display, the phone's app will generate a new code. Yes, that code is what you have to enter over there, then only you will be able to log in. Is it something like a Hrithik Roshan's that movie or a Shah Rukh Khan movie? So that's happening for last 3-4 years. So yes. So it's kind of a three-factor. It makes sure that you only doing it, so that non-human entity things are removed. Pardon, sir? That's a 2FA. So even the Google is having the authenticator. Intune also, it's 2FA, sir. Because it's like it is generating you a random number. How many of you are using authenticator? Good question, good point. So this is my authenticator. So for many solutions I am using this as my random generator. So my 2FA, the first factor will be my password, second will be the random thing. So I will recommend you all to use this Google Authenticator at least for your personal Gmail. Because the why Gmail is all your accounts, say it your LinkedIn account, forgot password goes to Gmail. Whichever application, your bank account statement, everything goes to Gmail. So at least have a 2FA of that sort in your thing. Thank you, sir, for pointing that one. Any doubts till now? Good. So for authentication for network devices, whether AD can be used for authentication? Should I repeat the question? Like you are going for an audit of your IT infra. You are finding the network devices like switches, routers and all. How you will be entering the username and password? Like what will be the authentication system for such network devices? What do you think? There is something called as Cisco's AAA. So or you can search for something called as the AAA stands for authorization, authentication, and accountability. But it is having a capability to interact or integrate the same with the AD. So the privileges, like in a network device, there are kind of some 7 levels of privileges that will be defined in that Cisco device, but the authentication will happen from your AD. So when you are auditing such a system, look into the which will be the source system from where the authentication will be taking. Okay, shall I move on? So capacity management. Can anyone give an example of capacity management issue which you are facing on a daily basis? No. That is our issue. Like we have to clean up our space. Like one service you are not able to get because of capacity management. IRCTC. When it comes to income tax return, uh, so yes, big billion days. So that is the impact. Like availability will not be there if capacity is not properly monitored. In terms of CIA triad, the availability is being questioned. So, to an extent, when you are having a cloud services, those issues will be mitigated. Like they are having auto scaling options. So that is what I meant with the second line, like auto scaling on the fly. If for big billion days, if the Flipkart or Amazon, their facility, if they are hosted in AWS or Azure or GCP, they, according to the usage, they will be getting with new instances. So the capacity won't be an issue in such cases. And you can ask the auditee how you will predict the demand, or how you will foresee what will be the demand, because we have to procure things well in advance, right? So how you will predict the utilization. So those things you can ask the auditee. And some of the key areas where you can look at are like the concurrent sessions. Like IRCTC, there is a restriction of number of sessions which can happen at a single point of time. How is the storage utilization, network utilization, the bandwidth? There is a solution called as Cisco Stealth Watch. It's an NBAD, Network Behavior Anomaly Detection Tool. So it does a kind of a graph of what is happening in your environment. So if you see any graph of any network pattern of your organization, you can see kind of a from 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, the graph goes up, and by the end of the day, it comes down. If you are auditing, just pick some samples of some Saturdays or Sundays, or some this office holidays. See how it is. So the relevance are like people may not switch off their devices. There will be unattended machines. Those things you will be able to identify using such graphs. And stress test, like a DDoS attack. I'm not asking you to go for a DDoS attack. There are tools available. I think the name of the tool is some Canon. With that, you will be able to initiate a DDoS attack itself. And don't do that. I'm just giving that thing for your information. And one more point which I want to highlight is a single point of failure. Any IT application, it will be in 3-tier architecture. Just if you see any application, web application, web layer will be the first, then app layer, then DB layer. So in order to accommodate maximum connection, if I am increasing the number of web servers, will that alone serve my purpose? We have to see the second or third lines as well. So application server need to accommodate that request. So see various levels so that our entire ultimate intention of having such a reliability or increased capacity can be achieved using that. Any doubts so far? So with respect to privacy, we will be interacting with multiple vendors, right? Like we will be interacting with multiple vendors. When it comes to privacy, we know our India's policies. What about the rest of the world? Maybe GDPR you are knowing. What about a different country? How you will get to know? We'll go with the next exercise. Take your phone, take the browser, DLA Piper. DLA Piper data privacy. Are you able to see any page? Come down. There will be world map. Click any of the country. Are you guys able to see a website? Yeah. You can click any of the country. You click India. So this is a reference which you can take. Like DLA Piper is a famous consultancy, and they are offering different services. So this, with respect to privacy, what are regulations you need to see, this can help you in that. So next, I would like to focus on protection against malware. So in your environment, like I'm not expecting you to say what is the solution which you are using in your environment. Can you tell whether you are using an antivirus or an EDR or an XDR? Anyone? Any answer? Antivirus, sure. EDR. How you are so sure that it is an EDR? CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike, which version or any idea? Probably CrowdStrike will be a XDR. So if you see, like some months back, whether you got impacted. So that is an issue like which we faced. So we'll come back to our point. So first, you just understand what is the solution in your place. Is it an antivirus? Is it an EDR? Or is it an XDR? I'm expecting a question. At least you should ask me what is the difference between these three. Okay. So antivirus, typically what it does is it will match a criteria. For example, suppose antivirus is someone sitting in the door. He will be checking, okay, this QR is there. Okay, let that person come inside. So it's just that alone. And you can see like EDR, and next level of person, he will scan this as well. They will scan your facials or some other secondary thing. Then XDR is something like it will give you an extra feeds from various other places. So any idea what an MDR is? So MDR is a service, it's not a product. So if an EDR or XDR, if someone is monitoring it for us, that is managed detection and response. The EDR means endpoint detection and response, XDR advanced detection and response. So all these things are roaming around the word cyber resilience. There is nothing foolproof that you will not get any attack. How fast, how quick, with minimum impact, how you can come back, that is what matters, the cyber resilience. So these things can be achieved using malware kind of preventive measures. So in some, as initially mentioned, there will be cases like, for example, in one of your branch office, there is some requirement of a pen drive to be enabled. So what IT team does is they will enable or disable that control so that the pen drive will be accessed. No, only that particular endpoint. Good point, sir. So we have to ask them how they are enabling the access. Is it across or is it a particular endpoint, particular thing? And after that, what they will do? Yes. So that we need to have a track, or we have to have a mechanism to ensure that once the control is released, it is put back. So that is what I have intended using the exception management. The prevention of use of unauthorized softwares, give a try. And make sure that you will try with genuine websites. Don't try to install each and everything which is coming in the internet, because we don't know what is happening in the backend. So just give a try for your academic purpose and to make sure that we are having the restrictions. And we'll give another perspective. Like if you are going to your antivirus guy, what should be your first top 3 questions? Okay. Regular update, license validity, all systems. How you will ensure these 3? Don't think like I'm making you ask question and I'm giving it back. No. SLAs will be kind of a, what to say, yeah, it's a compensator kind of. When you are going to an IT guy, or for not only for antivirus, for anything, sit with that person, ask him to log in the console. Don't ask questions, kind of you'll go with 25 questions, 30 questions. Go there, sit with that person, you ask your question. If he is telling, like first question we are asking, whether all our endpoints are integrated with antivirus solution. So that person is telling, yes, show me that. So in the console, there will be a total assets. As per your asset inventory, you know 1,000 endpoints are there. If you are seeing something less than 1,000, you have your answer. There are chances that you can see more than 1,000. That is again an issue, because the machines which we have moved out of our environment, that we don't have this thing. Again, the license, it's costing it to us. And in an antivirus solution, what next you can see is like 800 they are showing in the console. They will be in different colors or different status. For example, connected, updated. That means complete updates are happening. Disconnected, that you need to see. Because if out of 1,000, if 800 means 200 machines are disconnected. So some kind of 20% not being mounted. Then as per SLA we can ask, what is your TAT? How to this thing? So technically, as an internal auditor, our job is to make sure that we have all the controls in place. So ask those questions so that at least they will work to get what is intended. Then secondly, understand, like in your machine you are encountering a virus. What it happens to that file? Understand from that person what will be the action defined in their software or control. Is it quarantine? Is it deletion of the file? Is it sandboxing? So there are multiple options. So when you sit with the technical person, you will be able to see what it is. Sandboxing, as a word meaning, sir, it will be a separate environment. So there are two different scenarios. Like if you consider for an incoming email, if this spam score or that mail seems to be not good, it will be in a different environment. There it will be checking like what it does. Kind of a glass place where everyone can see what it happens to that. Same with the antivirus. In your machine itself, it will be in a different place. So it will be an isolated set. So that is this thing. Then any questions so far? Please. Okay, so quarantine means you are not allowing that file to execute. Means it is blocked. The further action is deletion. Sandboxing is you are allowing that file to execute in a controlled environment. Hope it clears. You do in your laptop. You do it in your laptop. Who stops you? So I will give you an answer. Next slide when you come, you will get to know whether we have to perform into live. I does in my laptop. So that at least I am sure that the system where I am having a full control, it's happening on or not. Randomly, I will also do with others' laptops when they are not locking their screen. First, I will send a mail from them to educate them the value of locking the screen, some treat or something. Then I will try installing something. So again, it's like strictly these kinds of stunts are performed by heavily trained professionals. Please do not imitate those. So vulnerability management. It's a like from ages it is there. We will do a VAPT. Then we will chase the guys. Are you going to close those vulnerability? Then we'll do our follow-up. After months, they will give you a response. Yes, it is fixed. Then we will mark it as closed. Is that the way? We have to rescan. Okay. So for doing a vulnerability testing, what is the difference between VA and PT? Okay, what's the difference? Okay, so I will keep it a bit more simple. VA is done using a tool. So that tool will try to exploit all the known vulnerabilities. What all things which you can exploit. So that list they will be controlling through VA. What is the ideal frequency of conducting a VA? At least once in a year. As per RBI for banking entities, it is 6 months, once in 6 months, and PT annual basis. So in PT, it's like, yes, we are trying to exploit those vulnerabilities. So there manual interventions are required. If you are interested in learning, there are 2 websites, Try Hack Me. Yes, Try Hack Me or Hack the Box. You can just Google it. There you can start getting from the basic of how networking or one means it becomes a craze. Like when you start learning, you will try something extra to get that exact email. I want to hack this email ID. So a few of my friends who does a VAPT, the majority of people when they come to know that this person is doing a vulnerability assessment, first thing they are going to ask is, can you hack this guy's Instagram ID? So that is our interest. So these 2 places will help you a lot in getting an idea. Hack the Box, Try Hack Me. Both are free. Congratulations. So, pardon, sir? PT, penetration testing. VAPT. Yes. The second line, sir. Manual in-depth, that is penetration testing. So, few tools which people, when you ask for any vendor or someone will be asking, give me the report. Ask for which is the tool which they have used. So at least we can get to know. For example, burp suit, Tenable. Earlier it was Nessus, it is Tenable now. So these are the things. So when you get a report, see whether it is a free edition or a paid enterprise version. Usually free edition you will not be able to generate a report, but see how it is. And for performing a penetration testing, testers use various methodologies like have a Kali Linux, using the Metasploit framework. I know I am speaking Greek to you. but still have those words in your mind which will help you. So using those things, you will be able to get any. I know few Mallu guys are there. There is a movie recently launched. It will be Netflix or somewhere. I Am Kadalan. I will strongly recommend you guys to watch that movie. It gives you a fair amount of information about what all things which I told till now. Don't expect that I did my preparation from that movie. Okay, so this is like for you guys to get a the exact feeling or the impact you will be able to get to that. Can I move to the next one? Okay, so data masking, it's really coined with the privacy thing. So again, I would like to recollect our discussion on database. When you go for a database level audit or something, just see what is the masking which they are doing. Okay, is it a field level masking or the entire database level masking, or how it is? Usually in our organizations and all, there will be one database which will be shared among multiple applications. So they should not communicate to each other. Like, they should communicate, but the critical information should not be passed. So those things. And two major things under data masking is, one is masking, second is pseudonymization. Masking means it is there, like you have seen, like in some of your websites, other information except the last 4 digit remaining will be will not be there. And the tokenization, like for our credit card or debit card information. So what it happens on tokenization is, the stakeholders or the concerned application team, they will be connecting with the a table which is created, kind of a copy of the actual file, and there will be a reference table. I think I have a lookup table. It's known as lookup table. So that is how it works. Make sure that when you get a data in your environment, it is properly logged. You will have all those things. So from an auditor perspective, this is a privacy related thing for your info. And make sure, understand which are the PA data. Ask the application guide to show you how it is masked, not only in the front end, in the back end as well. Front end means application level, the web GUI and all, in the back end, in the database level as well. Any questions? Okay. Then data leakage prevention. So there are, tell me, sir. Yes. Yes, that's what I said in the beginning. Go and sit to an IT guy. Ask him how you are accessing it. Okay, show them. But I'm sure you will get more observation. Why? Because when you sit behind him, he will try to connect to the server directly from his endpoint. And he is supposed to connect to the server using the PAM solution only. But there you will be getting another bigger observation. So go there, sit with them, you will get maximum thing. Usually the IT audits people will perform over the Teams call. Don't do that. Maybe the first level of things you can do it over a Teams call or remotely. Then go and sit beside that guy and follow this why principle, or be like a baby. Why? After your 5 questions, if he's getting irritated, means something issue is there. Okay. So DLP usually works in tandem with the data classification. So hope you are using the Microsoft email. So that public, critical, so those things you are familiar with it. So when you are going to audit that, first understand where the data classification scheme is mentioned. First it will be in your policy, in technologically where you have defined it, that you have to see. And DLP, you can classify it like a network based DLP solutions are there, endpoint level DLP are there, and email kind of the different thing. So I have seen good environments where you can't even send an email to your Gmail, personal Gmail. So, and there are some places where when you are in notice period, you will not be able to send email. I have seen environments where you can't send at all email to an outside domain. So, it depends on your organization's risk appetite or the level of information which you have to share and the level of industry where you are working in. It totally depends on that. And the another thing. So DLP, you can, but it processes a high level of risk. For example, if an IT employee who leaves, he will try to take all his data with him. So that's what, there will be exceptional cases. I have seen the environment, that's what I said, there are multiple environments. In some environment, especially in Middle East and all, you can't send mail at all, outside domain. I have seen environments where personal Gmails, you can't, business Gmail you can. And that the backend will differentiate. So there will be a mechanism that if there will be list of people who are getting notice period will be there. That will be uploaded to a common repository, maybe in AD group or somewhere. If that person is in that particular group, they will not be able to send outside email. That will be the policy configured in the DLP solution. Good thought, ma'am. So when you are going to inspect a DLP solution, ask what are the policies configured, how it is, what is the network level DLP. So network DLP, like you will not be able to transfer files not more than a specific threshold. Emails threshold. So hope you have experienced those things. That will be there. And another thing, the intrusion part. When you go for a DLP solution audit, what I have seen in my experience is there have been a lot of alerts. Like the team was mentioning that we are getting too much alerts. Like in a daily basis, we are getting around 5,000 alerts, and 2 or 3 people are there to look into it. But as an auditor, we can find gaps similar at the same fashion. Being an internal auditor, it's our responsibility to show the right way. So what it was happening is, in our emails and all, 10-digit mobile number will come. People will add plus 91. So that 91 plus 10 number, it becomes 12-digit number. 12-digit Aadhaar number. So DLP was detecting anything coming into that 12 number slot as a, Aadhaar number. So they were getting huge number of alerts. So from solutions maximum, to get a maximum value out of that solution, you will be spending more time in a false positive rather than a genuine case. Same time, it will miss out a genuine attack or something. So ask for which are the top 10 cases which are getting you alerts. That will give you a visibility. Any questions? Okay. Now I think considering the time constraint, we have to go for the rapid fire kind of a thing. So logging, make sure that each and everything is logged. Logging in the sense, pay particular attention that all the sufficient information are there. For example, if someone is logging into a web application, at least that source IP, username, what is the action. So minimum level of thing to trace back who did what. That is a main thing which you need to focus. And certain guidelines, like 180 days ka. So it's self-explanatory. If any doubts? Okay. Monitoring activity. This is one of my interesting areas. How many of you have seen a security operations center, SOC? So in movies and all, when you see, it will be like that ISR thing, multiple monitors are there, people will be looking with hood and all. So yes, ma'am. Operations center, SOC. So it's kind of the action-packed area of cybersecurity. So people, and there is a, what to say, a so-called false information that we will feel like if everything is integrated to our SIM tool, everything will be taken care, everything will be monitored. No. So it's like understand what all applications are. By the way, did I miss to tell what an SIM is? Okay, SIM stands for Security Incident and Event Management Tool. Okay, what it does is a central platform where it will collect all logs. So for example, you are having an email solution, it will give the logs to SIM. You are having your antivirus solution, it will give logs to SIM. Multiple log sources will give logs to SIM. And these guys speak in different language, but the SIM will convert everything to a single language and it will correlate. I'll give you a simple use case. If an antivirus solution gives an alert that something is detected, if the email security solution gives an alert that there have been some few phishing mails, if the entire SOC, as from a holistic approach, if they are getting that 5 number of alerts happened from endpoint from a case where reporting some 10 phishing emails and few people have clicked some web outbound activity, that's the case. So when you are getting time or when you are spending time to do an audit of security operations center, key focus should be on use cases. Use cases are the logic behind which an alert will be getting triggered. So, and second most important thing is, when an alert is generated, is it communicated to people and whether they are responding in time. There will be critical things within like 3 hours, like that SLAs are there, focus on that. How much time left? Thank you. So network security. In network, basically focus first whenever go to an environment, ask for a network diagram. It should be clear enough. You should understand the entire things, and there should be zoning like DMC zone, demilitarized zone. I'm just giving you some words so that it will you will keep it. Then there should be a separation of production environment and between UAT environment. And for network security, firewalls, lot of things are there. And now after the cloud and all, focus on access control list or security groups within the VCN, virtual cloud network. Focus on access control list or security gateways. Okay, here like remote working, when you are having vendors where you need to extend your network, please try to give access to VDI. Through VDI, they will not be able to take anything out of it. They will be getting an image of a desktop which is sitting in your environment. Any questions specific to network security? Good. Web filtering. It's like outbound internet connectivity. It will be restricted using a web filtering. Proxy is another word. So as it goes, like it has evolved its own. So there are a lot of major solutions like Zscaler, Netscope, earlier IronPort. So those things are there. This is so when you go for an audit of a web filtering, ask the technical guy to show you the policies which are having access to all. Show the policies having access to specific groups. For example, executives will be having a different set of access. IT guys who are in development, they will be having access. Now, when you go for an audit, specifically check on restrictions on ChatGPT or any other AI platforms. Ask for specific upload options like bulk uploads, like Google Drive. Those places where data, huge data will be going over there. And user awareness is most important, because as an employee, I should know what all things I should search. Identity and access management, self-explanatory. Still focus on Microsoft AD, IDAM. And when you go for an audit, focus on the entire life cycle, how a user is created from the scratch till how is deleted, how when a person changes his team within the company, lateral movements when it happens, what is the privileges change, whether it is being changed over there or how it is, and special attention like whether which are the IDs used, like whether ID is being shared among them. Ask for generic ID user access review, normal ID user access review, and any users without any password expiry. So focus on those points, that will help you. Privacy, I'm not going to talk too much. I am focusing on one point considering the interest of time. There is something called as central consent management. So what it does is, with respect to privacy, like whenever you are giving your interest or as a principal, data principal, when we are giving our authorization, it should happen in a real time. If I am giving my preference now, immediately it should reflect in the back end. It should be a completely automated process. So I will request you to search on few words, one on central consent management and PETs. Search for PETs specific to privacy. So these are the 16 domains which I intended to cover. Next is process and all. Due to the time constraints, I am stopping. Any questions? First of all, I am not authorized to give an answer which company, which TVS is doing, but I can give a generic answer. It is like there will be multiple options. Like for like we'll take a scenario like you field agents are there. When you are having a field agent, they will be doing something, especially if you take a privacy front or security front, there will be an application in which he have to take it. So there we can have a access restriction built on, or the controls you can build. Secondly, there will be MDMs, mobile device management. So there you can build your own security, and for better control, company should provide that device so that that can be avoided. Like employees phone, there is a restriction in which MDM can deploy, those things can be restricted. So ultimately, user awareness, as we know, people are the weakest link, as you rightly pointed out. How to make a vast group aware, it's a task. Continuous things like using chatbots and all, like you have to make sensitize people. Like if you see now in the country, if you make a phone call itself, first you have to hear that cyber security or digital arrest guidance. So there is a huge drive happening in the country because of such frauds. So please, any doubts? Any feedback for me? Yeah. Again, it's a data classification as public, so I will be able to share. Anything else? Thank you.
So walking in, it was so nice to see everyone so interestingly listening and writing notes. It was very nice to see all of you so engrossed in the lecture, and that shows our Dinu's technical acumen in the chapter, in the topic. So I request Paul Jaker sir to come and give the small memento to Dinu.